If you've been searching for a cashback card that actually makes a difference in your everyday budget, this is the one most people start with. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the Scotiabank Momentum Visa Infinite, which is often called the best cashback credit card in Canada. And to be fair, it's easy to see why. This card gives you 4% cashback on groceries and recurring bills, 2% on gas and transit, and 1% on everything else. It's simple, automatic, and the rewards add up faster than you'd expect, especially if you're feeding a family, paying utilities, or running multiple monthly subscriptions. I'll go over how it works, who it's best for, the pros and cons, and even how this card works with Chexy, a platform that lets you pay rent with your credit card. I've actually made a video on it recently, feel free to check it out. I'll also explain how you can get the cash bonus from Great Canadian Rebates when you apply and get approved. So what makes the Scotia Momentum Visa Infinite stand out is simply how practical it is. Most credit cards try to lure you with travel points or free flights that take years to redeem. This one, it just gives you money back on what you're already spending. You don't need to worry about blackout dates, points conversions, or figuring out how much your rewards are actually worth. Do you buy groceries? Perfect, you get 4% back. You pay your internet or phone bill? Awesome, you get 4% back. You fill your card up with gas? That's 2%, and everything else is 1%. It's really as straightforward as it gets. And because this card runs on Visa Infinite, it comes with all the extra perks you'd expect from a premium tier card, such as travel insurance, purchase protection, extended warranty, and concierge services that I've never used and I bet you won't ever use. So here's exactly how the structured categories work. Once again, you get 4% cashback on groceries and recurring bill payments, and that includes most supermarkets as well as automatic payments for things like your phone plan, streaming services, utilities, gym memberships, and even some insurance payments. And then 2% cashback on gas stations and daily transit. That includes buses, Ubers, ride-sharing services is pretty self-explanatory, as well as the 1% on all other purchases. My favorite part is that there's no point system to convert, no complicated tiers to track. You simply earn cash, which you can redeem as a statement credit once a year. I would say that's the biggest con, is that it's only done once a year. If I'm not wrong, November. Anyways, let's put this into perspective with some real numbers. Let's say you spend $1,200 a month on groceries and recurring bills. That's $48 in cash back every month. If you spend $300 on gas and transit, that's $6 more. Another $500 on everything else at 1%, that's another $5. So that's $59 a month, or about $708 per year in cashback. I'll subtract the $120 annual fee and you're still pocketing almost $600 net every year. And that's just for one person. For couples and families, the rewards can really stack. Plus, Scotiabank often runs a welcome offer of 10% cashback on your first $2,000 of spending in the first 3 months, and they typically waive the first year annual fee, which they didn't for me. I have beef with them, but that's a whole other video. So that's $200 point right out of the gate. So realistically, the card could net you $700 to $900 value without doing anything complicated. Now there's something not a lot of people talk about, outside of personal finance at least. This card works incredibly well with Chexy. If you're not familiar with it, Chexy is the Canadian platform that lets you pay your rent using your credit card, while the landlord still gets paid by e-transfer. So if you're using the Scotiabank Momentum Visa Infinite and you set your Chexy payments as recurring bill, you can actually earn cash back on your rent, which is usually one of the biggest monthly expenses. I would say that's pretty massive. Imagine earning 4% cash back on $1,500 monthly rent. That's $60 a month or $720 a year, just from doing what you're already doing. Now, of course, there are small fees involved with Chexy, about 1.75%, and it depends on how you set it up. But the point is, this card pairs beautifully with it. I've made a dedicated video on Chexy where I explain exactly how that system works, how to optimize it, and how to combine it with cards like Momentum Infinite to maximize your cashback. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check it out. I'll leave a link down below. Okay, so let's talk about how to make this card even better. If you apply for the Scotiabank Momentum Visa Infinite through Great Canadian Rebates, you can currently get a cashback bonus after you're approved. Usually between $50 and $100, depending on the offer at the time. And that's real cash, not points. And it stacks on top of Scotia's official welcome bonus. So you can double dip and walk away with even more value your first year. Anyways, I'll leave the GCR link down in the description so you can check the current offer and apply through there. It's a very simple way just to get paid for signing up and getting approved for a credit card. Anyways, let's talk about the pros and cons of this card. The pros are quite obvious. The 4% on groceries and recurring bills, one of the best categories in Canada, and 2% on gas and transit, which, again, isn't bad. My favorite is that cash rewards are very simple, predictable, and you can use it with Chexy to potentially earn some cash back on your rent. Lastly, you get strong Visa Infinite perks and solid insurance coverage. If we're talking about the cons, I guess the $120 annual fee, though often it's waived in the first year. Another thing is there is a foreign transaction fee, so not ideal for travel or US purchases. Lastly, category accuracy. Not every store will code properly as grocery or recurring, so you have to always double check in your statements. So let's briefly touch on how it compares with the other major cashback cards out there. My favorite one is Rogers World Elite MasterCard, which is a strong contender for foreign purchases and general spending. But its highest category is still lower than Scotia's at 4%. Rogers only gives you 3% in the best case. The CIBC Dividend Visa Infinite also gives you 4% on groceries, but it doesn't cover recurring bills like this card does. So unless you're a heavy traveler who needs no foreign exchange fee benefits, the Scotiabank Momentum is still the most balanced, high-value card for everyday Canadians. In my opinion, the Scotiabank Momentum Visa Infinite still holds its crown as the best cashback credit card in Canada for 2025. It's not overly flashy or has any super cool features, but it's consistent, reliable, and rewarding in the ways that actually matter. Saving money on your day-to-day purchases. The combination of the 4% cashback on groceries and recurring bills, the ability to use it with Chexy, and a bonus from Great Canadian Rebates make it a no-brainer for anyone who wants a practical, long-term rewards card. And of course, just a reminder, this is not a financial advice. Always check the latest terms and make sure it fits your own spending and lifestyle before applying. Alright, this is it for the review. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel. It tells YouTube that my videos are at least somewhat watchable, which I gladly take as a win. Give this video a like, comment below if you already use Scotiabank Momentum, or if you plan on pairing it with Chexy in the future when you apply. And don't forget to check the description for the Great Canadian Rebates link to grab your sign-up bonus. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.